how do you even know if you have an insecure attachment style or you have attachment wounds? So my caveat is this is not a diagnosis. I obviously can't say for sure that this will apply to every single person, but I do think this is a good framework to figure out if what you're experiencing is related to an attachment wound or if it is more situationally appropriate. And that really is the key at the end of the day. So attachment wounds tend to develop between the ages of 0 to 5, and they are a response to certain circumstances, certain environments, and relationships with our caregivers. So for example, the more anxious, preoccupied environment is going to usually include inconsistency and real or perceived abandonment. The dismissive, avoidant environment is going to include some form of emotional neglect. The fearful, avoidant environment may include what we think of as sort of overt chaos and trauma, in other words, that I don't know if I can say. And then as an adult, these wounds might manifest as behavior, for example, for an AP, constant reassurance and validation seeking, protest behavior, activating strategies aimed at creating connection, kind of even at the cost of creating conflict. For a dismissive avoidant, this could look like avoiding intimacy and closeness or trouble expressing feelings. For a fearful avoidant, this could look like hot and cold behavior, very push-pull, wanting closeness, not wanting it, having a very chaotic relationship with intimacy and relationships themselves. Even if you have some of these, signs and symptoms, how do you know for sure that it is more related to attachment than it is to the current situation? Again, that's really the key. If you are having and some of this is subjective, but if you are having what you would deem to be an inappropriate response, if you kind of get a zoomed out aerial objective perspective on your behavior, if it feels disproportionate to the situation at hand, it feels like it is a hyperbolic reaction, an exaggerated reaction to what's actually going on, you may be talking about an attachment wound. Another thing you can ask yourself is, do relationship and relationship issues seem to take up an inordinately large piece of the pie of my overall focus and energy? Or do relationship and relationship issues seem to take up an unusually small piece of the pie? A last example, and this is not comprehensive by any means, but a last thing that you can ask yourself is, does it feel like I have trouble concentrating on anything else when I am in relationship conflict? Do I feel like my nervous system comes online such that I'm either completely numb to what's going on around me, and so I have a hard time continuing my daily tasks, or I feel almost what I call body and brain on fire, where my nervous system is on kind of red alert, and I almost can't sit still, can't focus. So kind of one extreme or another, or vacillating between those extremes, where if someone were to ask you, are you in your rest and digest, parasympathetic, I am present in this moment, versus sympathetic, fight, flight, fawn, or freeze, if you had to take a guess that you're more in that sympathetic, fight, flight, fawn, or freeze, then there is a good chance that your attachment wounds have been activated, and thus you have them. Let me know if you have any questions about this. By the way, I have also launched some digital products that are extremely affordable. I know this is probably the most expensive time of the year, and I wanted to create a body of resources that you guys can access easily for immediate help and relief. So if you go to the link in my bio, it's got everything in there.